Okay. I'm Ami McClure. My husband Justin's around here. Started the whole thing sitting here with Daymond.
Yes.
I think my real only question is, did you ever seriously doubt yourself, and how did you get past that? I think because for me, like, Justin's a natural entrepreneur. Like, he's like, no, I'm going to do this. I know it's going to work. It's going to be successful. He's always very confident in what he's doing, even if it doesn't work. It doesn't stop him. He's like, oh, okay, well, this one's going to work. I'm going to do this.
Right.
For me, I don't know if it's just maybe my personality. I'm more cautious, and I want to think everything through from the beginning to the end before I even start. I'm not only going to think about the beginning. I want to think about here all the way to the end before I even start. And like with my skincare company, I was like, okay, I don't know if I like this packaging. Next thing you know, the store's open and people are ordering. I said, Justin, what did you do? I opened the store. He just pressed the button and opened my store. He's like, you would have never done it. You just weren't going to do it. And that's my thought process. And have you ever doubted yourself in that way, and how did you get through it?
So coming up, I always doubted myself. You know, what we were fortunate enough to accomplish, you know, with Fubu, you know, Clark and I and Cross Colors paved the road, paved the way for us. But it was never technically done in the level that we did it, and so I think that doubt of myself made me work harder. And every time that something great happened, I said, it's gonna all be gone tomorrow. Because I also looked at the data. A hot fashion brand lasts 5 to 7 years, not like Nike and Louis Vuitton. And I go back to when I watched President Obama interview Mark Zuckerberg. Mark said, people told me that it would never work. Meaning, when I had this platform for the kids in Ivy League schools, they said, well, when it gets to kids in regular universities, nobody's going to be on it. Then all of a sudden, and you add high school kids on it, everybody's going to get off of it. And then someone's like, well, when the high school kid find out their nana is on the same thing, they're done. Then they was like, well, now cell phones are coming around, everybody's moving around with smartphones. When you're not going to, you know, you can be on your computer. And all of a sudden, you know, he kept saying, he doubted himself, but he kept building. And I think that we need that healthy paranoia to doubt ourselves. And even till today, I doubt myself on how it is. But where the confidence is today, unlike yesteryear, was I just take an affordable step, a very small step. And most people go, you're the shark. How dare you? What is that little thing you're doing? I'm getting proof of concept. Because if I can prove this with 10 people, 20 people, I can prove it with 2 billion people. But I need to prove it with 10 people, 20 people. And I think that you get that by that healthy kind of like, I'm doing a little bit of it, you know? But yeah, I always doubt myself, always. Because if it could all be done easily, well then everybody would do it.
Yeah, 100%. I think it's learning to accept the little steps that are working. So for me, when he did open the store, and you know, I got a great amount of orders that first month, and I'm like, I expect this every month now. Look what just happened.
Yeah, and that's a good point. I think that Just is in certain areas, I think he's a little too fast, which is good. And and you may be too cautious, and that's why I said you balance before we just opened up. I think that you're gonna get punched in the face. 100%. But be careful about it. That's all. So if you open up and let's say you got 100 orders, how can I over provide for that 100? Don't try to go get 200.
Yeah.
Try to get 100 reorders. Yeah. Then 100 reorders, and then you go, all right, 150. Just gonna be like, yo, let's go. Slow down, homie.
Exactly.
That's how I operate. You know what I mean? But you'll figure. As long as you have that though, with him, that's why it's perfect. You know?
Yeah, so doubt is normal.
I love it, and that's like my wife. You know, like, hey, I'm doing this. She's like, ain't gonna work. But I'm Daymond John. It ain't gonna work, and I love that.
Yeah. Okay. She probably stopped you from a few things.
She had, but then even though privately she's like, this, our friend, we got to rock out with D. Let's do it. You know what I mean? But she makes sure she
caution.
A little caution.
Okay, good.
Are you a CEO that knows that you've done everything to master your craft? Now you need to take your personal brand to the next level? Well, I love working one-on-one with game-changing CEOs. And if you're interested, reach out. Go to workwithashark.com and fill out the form. Now, back to the video.
Yes. Hello, I am Kelly. We actually met at InvestFest with Devin Loves Numbers.
That's right. Oh,
yes. Devin Loves Numbers, the kid genius. Yes.
He's beautiful. He's so beautiful.
He is amazing.
He is beautiful.
So, you've already actually helped a lot with the retail because we kind of were already saying direct to customers. I'd like to get your feedback because we're always thinking, okay, even though he's cute, he's 3 now, and we're always wondering, is our audience going to still think he's still as cute as he gets older? And we're trying to blitz the market with a lot of different things right now, right?
And what do you explain who
he is? Oh, so you might have seen him. He's went viral. Kid genius. He knows 332 numbers of pi. He can do math and read at a 6th grade level. I feel like I want to get your feedback on, we have digital products, we have a community, we have a book that just came out, we have some ideas, some media things that we have coming out. So what is your feedback on like small businesses that we're just kind of like, especially with kid businesses, because it's like a tender thing.
Well, what are the cuts? And thank you for that. And I think first of all, you're brilliant. What are the things that the parent is getting? Because you said there are a lot of things that I understand, and I'm the king of a lot of things. My team has to often tell me to pull back, but the difference with me is if I don't pull back here, I still got 12 Shark Tank companies every single year, and I don't know how to do it halfway. So I am in a different instance because I either go, do I work on all of mine or all of theirs? So I'm forced to do that. But you're not necessarily forced to do that now, but you do have to stick your fingers in a lot of pies to see where it's working better because you don't know where it's going to really grow, right? What are the things that the parent is consuming that is generating income for you to be able to do more of it?
Definitely the digital products right now.
And what are the digital products?
We have a full curriculum out. We have some other digital like workbooks, how-to guides, like little quick how-to guides. And then
you're doing all these yourself, or are you with other companies?
Yeah, so we do have, our parent company, Circle of Greatness, we are marketing engine, so we are able to do a lot through our resources with the Circle of Greatness marketing engine.
Okay, so these are not other companies though?
No.
And have you gone after some of the larger companies that do some of these products?
So we have made some pitches. We have not had any real feedback or anything we've made some pitches to some people that do some things, but we just haven't had any feedback yet.
Well, the thing is to show, you can make up your own opinions, but not your own facts. This thing is to show some of these larger companies and keep the thing that is your core. Mm-hmm. Right. So if you have this form of digital, right, you keep that as your core because that's where you're going to say, this is the person buying it at this age, at this price, whatever the case is. However, there's something always going to be advantage to somebody else. If I'm I'm going to just use the name because it happens to be the one we all know. If I'm Scholastics, I'm going to look at it and go, well, are you a minority supplier? Okay, so if I'm Scholastics, I will go, how do I show the world that I'm investing in minority vendors? And I have not only a minority vendor that now I can show that I'm supporting those that serve because I have people like me that serve, but I also have a rock star kid that he could be cute all he wants, but he's going to still grow along with the customer. And he has his one when he was at 3, when he was at 6, when he was at 10. I have right now the Ryan's World of, I think his name was Ryan, right? Of that. And I have all these kind of products and offerings. How can I now use that? Have a rock star who now I'm saving on all the advertising and marketing because this young man can go on to any show. So now I've decreased my cost there. I've increased my cost because I'm now all the incentives that go from working with a minority company, and now I can make more money because a lot of times those deals may be, hey, we're going to sell this amount of product, but also pay us to be the face of this. So that's where I think the value is. And you have all the data. Remember, the easiest thing to sell is the truth. And I think that you have all the data, you have a rock star, and you have an advantage that very few have of being, you'll either be a woman-owned or minority-owned company, and you show that the money is going to go into certain kind of trust funds and various other things and give a portion back to communities. I think that you have a lot there, and that's where you focus on.
I like that. That's really good. I thought you meant registered. But no, I need to
No,
get
yeah.
with it.
You know, Fubu actually technically was not a minority-owned company, and we didn't know any better. If I would have done that, Fubu would have been 2 times or 3 times larger, because there's a lot of companies after what. This is why we're doing Black entrepreneurship. After George Floyd, a lot of companies had said, forget what's going to go on if the government's going to make us. Internally, we must do this, because the next George Floyd that is filmed, you know it's happening every day, the next one that is filmed, we don't want, when we make this burger and they make that burger, to be able to say, we don't want to say we don't support any community. So it's a mandate now internally.
ESG.
I love that. Thank you.
Thank you for what you're doing.
Are you a CEO that knows that you've done everything to master your craft? Now you need to take your personal brand to the next level? Well, I love working one-on-one with game-changing CEOs. And if you're interested, reach out. Go to workwithashark.com and fill out the form. Now, back to the video.
My name is Adam Ali. I run a brand called Everyday Hustle. It's a man grooming line, beard oils, sunscreen for men, combs, beard pencils.
Beard pencils.
Beard pencil.
I need that.
You know, sometimes we have little patchy areas, you know, just touch it up. Also a children's book author.
What was the children's book on?
3 children's books. The first book, they're all based on my daughter. And the first one is called Samia and Her Electric Toothbrush. I wrote it with a doctor, essentially just promoting dental hygiene.
Excellent.
The second one is called Samia Learns How to Be Courageous, just giving practical steps on walking into something new, which is her walking into rock climbing for the first time.
Okay.
The third one features my son, and that one is about them both learning swimming.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right. Well, good, brother. Thank you for being here, man.
Appreciate it. Yeah, so I wanted to ask you, well, my question is a 2-part question. The first question is, I've been running this beard oil brand for 4 years on Amazon and Walmart Marketplace. When do you feel is a good time to start pushing for in-store retail? What are some metrics that you start looking at? Or am I feeling the desire to do that because it's just a cool thing?
Yeah, that's the big question, you know. To educate yourself on retail is it's a challenging market, but what we call retail generally is a lost leader, right? You lose money potentially, but now you have the advertising and the marketing. But you know, the beauty of what you do is, and what everybody in this room does, is you are 1 step away from the money. When I started the business, I was 7 steps away from the money. The internet didn't exist, and neither did social media. So I had to make something, then I'd have to design it and then make it and then bring it here. Maybe a buyer buys it, maybe the buyer sends it to the right store, and maybe the kid on, you know, looking for college or a girlfriend or a boyfriend pulls it out the back, maybe put it on the rack, maybe somebody buys it. And who bought it? Did they buy it for themselves? Did they buy it for their child? Did they buy it for their husband? Why did they not buy it? And if you make something for $5, you would sell it to the store for 10, and the store sells it for 20. Right? So you make $5 off of it. But if you yourself, because you're directly tied to your customer, makes it for 5 and you sell it for 20, well, now you have way more money to advertise and market it. We put in our annual budget an average of about 5% to be able to market it. You can put 20%, and you can know who your customer is directly. And there's only 3 ways to deal with a customer. You either acquire a new one, upsell a current one, or make one buy more frequently. So you want to supersize everybody's fries. And if you are selling it to the store, you don't know who bought it. You don't know why they didn't buy it. So it's important to be able to sell directly. See, stores make their money not off of just selling goods, your goods.
When you say directly, you mean through my own channels, my website?
Yeah, so when I say directly, it's through your channel, but I mean, you know, you're a king of content, you're a king of working with people, using other people. Remember, OPM could be other people's mind power, manpower, marketing, manufacturing, mentors, mistakes. There's a lot of ways to make money. And utilizing not only yours, but other people's offerings, right? Hey, you know, you sell a lot of great, I don't care what it is, lotion. Can I put a 10-15% discount for my products in, and I'll share your lotion with my community, and you work with other people. Collaborate, exactly what you do, right? Collaborate. And that's to sell directly. Remember, the store is paid off of various things. They're not only paid off of what you sell. When you get into those big stores, they put more people out of business than they put in business. Not on purpose, but you have this idea, we have this idea, I want to be in the store. Well, they're going to charge you. If you want Macy's, Macy's charges $30,000 each window. They charge X amount of dollars to put in their circular. The people you see in Macy's folding stuff, they're not paid by Macy's, they're paid by you. So they'll say, hey, you could be over here and nobody's gonna fold your stuff with this right here. You gotta pay somebody $20 an hour. When you launch a fragrance brand in Macy's, so those people doing this, they're all getting paid $25 to $30 an hour. You gotta pay $3 million to end up getting those people to work for you. And by the way, if you sold Macy's something that they were supposed to make, you sold them $1 million worth of goods, they were supposed to make $2 million. Well, what happens is, they were supposed to make $1 million, excuse me.
Is that there a projection that both parties agree
They're
on?
on 50% margin, so they say, hey, you sell me $1 million worth of goods. By the time I sell it all, it's $2 million. I make $1 million, right? Well, when you see it go on sale after 4 weeks, and it goes down to 10%, 20%, they go, something called guaranteed margin. We were supposed to make $1 million, we only made $800,000. Guess who owes them the $200,000 that they didn't make? So this is when we talk about retail. So that's why you need to sell directly to your customer.
Part B to my question is, just ties in terms of marketing and advertisement, specifically around billboards. Are you a fan of billboards? How do you quantify that, or are you more focused on digital?
I'm a fan of everything as long as it works for your customer, because you are a master of social media. I may not be a master in this area. If somebody would say the retail stores work. Yeah, well, if you're in the airport, it does, because the person in the airport is paying the most amount to travel. They're locked in. They can't get Amazon. They can't even bring water in there, so you can charge them 2 times the amount. Well, billboard's great if you're local, and you know what? Somebody's stuck on the highway. They can't swipe that thing. They're sitting on the highway like this all day looking at that damn billboard. So it all depends. A flyer is still great. If you have a crew to hit flyers at every single house, they can't throw that away. They take that inside. It all depends on the market that you're trying to hit, and you know it better than I do. You can. And the beautiful thing about your base is you ask them the questions. Hey, what's the best way you would like? Where do you see us? People love to tell you everything about themselves. What I hate about this and what I like about it.
Right. Yeah, I've always been digital, so I'm trying to do new things. Like, do I advocate for going into retail? Do I put billboards, or are these things just the bells and whistle of
your
the hustle?
customer will tell you exactly, because you have a base that loves you. Like my books, every time I put out the 4 covers to choose from, and I put out a 5th one that put this color out, guess which one they chose? All right, cool, brother. Thank you, man. Thank you for what you're doing.
Thank you, everybody. I hope you found value in this. It was a little seed for everybody planted, maybe with him or even with each other.
Yeah.
Because like I tell D, man, I want to see people win. I'm going to win.
Yeah.
But there's enough for everybody to win. We're not taking anything from each other by us all winning. So let's all win.
Yeah.
And that's what this is all about today. So I really hope that you guys, enjoyed what Mr. Daymond done.
I'm always open to learning from all of you. And thank you, man, for bringing everything together.
Yes,
I really,
thanks for
truly
having
appreciate you. And yeah, for my team being around. So yeah, I truly appreciate everybody. Thank you.
Man, I love working with CEOs and entrepreneurs. And if you think you qualify, go to workwithashark.com.